There's a grandfather clock. We're going to come on to our backs this morning. I'm going to mute everyone. There we go. Like this. So let's start on our backs and just stretch our arms up overhead. Move your head side to side. And just sip in the breath in through the nose. And we'll open up the mouth, just gently sigh it out. Allow the body to be really heavy. Again, a full breath in. Feel the ribs expand with each inhalation. Mouth opens wide, gentle exhale. One more, full inhale. Can you sip in a little more air? Mouth opens, exhale it out. We'll tug that right knee in. Find some ankle twists in one direction. And then the other direction. Soften that jaw. And let's find a half happy baby. So reach for the outer edge of the right foot. You can use that left hand to root the hip down and just gently allow that knee to come a little closer to the floor. Breathe into the inner groins. Flex the right foot. Head and shoulders are on the floor, so take the tension out of the body. Take another full breath in here. Complete that exhalation. Now release that right foot. We'll draw that knee across the body. Extend the right arm and maybe take the gaze over the shoulder. A full breath in. A full breath out. We sip in one more full inhale. Let it all release. And roll back on the body, back body. Extend the right leg to the floor. Pause here for a full cycle in and a full cycle out of breath. We inhale that left knee towards the chest, find some ankle twists. And we change direction. And then we find a half happy baby. And reach for the outer edge of the left foot. I use my right hand to root that right hip down and just gently allow that left knee to come a little closer to the floor. Again, breathing into that inner groins, soften the jaw, maybe turn your head side to side, letting go of any tension. See if you can draw your head and shoulders to the floor. Take the tension out of the body. Another full breath in. Maybe flex that left foot, full breath out. And we'll draw that knee across the body, extend the left arm. Breathe into that lower back body. One more inhale. Full exhalation. And we'll roll back on the back body. Both knees bend in towards our chest. Wrap your arms around the tops of your feet. We draw our head towards your knees. Then gently soften those shoulders, the shoulders away from the ears. Really stretch out that neck. Another breath in. Head and shoulders to the floor. We'll take our hands behind our knees and gently rock that spine. 3 or 4 rocks. Till we come onto our hands and knees. Hands directly underneath your shoulders. Just bump your hips side to side. And we'll curl our toes under, lift those sits bones, and I'm just pedaling out those feet. Downward dog, head shake it out. And take a really deep bend in that right knee. Drawing the weight onto the ball of the foot. Open up the arch of the right foot. Fingers are spread wide. Then we'll release that right heel to the floor. A nice deep bend in that left knee. Spread the toes wide, really open up the arches of the feet. Then draw that left heel down. Now we'll lift both heels off the floor. Open up the arches, root the hands into the earth, And we'll slowly begin to bend those knees towards the earth. We're gonna hover them just a few inches above the mat. Now find a really deep bend in the hips, the knees hover, maybe the shins come parallel to the floor. Now we'll begin to expand, open up the backs of the knees, draw the heels to the floor, pause and breathe, shake out that head. We're gonna do 2 more just like that. So hands are rooted, try not to put too much pressure in the wrists. See if you can root through the forefinger and thumb. Maybe imagine there's a little space underneath the palm. Lift those heels as high as you can. Weight into the balls of the feet. We hover those knees. The shins become more parallel to the floor. We find that really deep bend in the hips. Now begin to expand. Open up the backs of the knees, the backs of the legs. Heels draw to the ground. Or just 1 more like that. Open up the arches of the feet. A little faster on this one. We hover the knees to the earth. And then expand. Open up the backs of the legs. Heels root towards the earth. And we walk our hands back towards our toes. So we're at the back of our mats. A nice wide stance, at least the width of your hips. A deep bend in the knees. Reach for opposite elbows. Let the head be nice and loose. Connecting with that breath. And just playing with taking the weight into the balls of the feet. And then draw more weight into the heels. So we're just finding openings as we gently just explore that area. A deep bend in the knees, more weight into the balls of the feet. And then we take more weight into the heels. Release the hands to the floor. We'll take that left hand in front of us about 1 foot. Slight bend in the left knee. Expand that right hand up towards the sky. Now open up the chest. Spin the chest up towards the ceiling. And we'll slowly lower that right hand to the floor. Nice breathing this morning, Bill. Inhale that left hand high. We spread the fingers wide. And then maybe drop that hand behind you a little bit. You spin the chest up towards the ceiling. A full breath in here. And slowly lower that left hand to the floor. A slight bend in the knees. We're going to interlace our fingers and take it on the back of our head. Forward folding, hinging from our hips. Just to add a little tension, a little traction towards the head. You can maybe spin it side to side slowly, noticing if there's any tightness. Just exploring this morning. Waking up the body slowly. Yes, we'll release our hands and walk our hands towards the front of our mat. Downward dog, eyes towards the back of the mat. Soften the eyes with just soften your eyes to the back of the mat, your drishti. Nice, and we'll walk our feet now up to the heels of our hands. Heel toe those feet together and find that halfway lift. Reaching your heart forward, maybe a slight bend in the knees. On an exhalation, we hinge from our hips. Crown of the head reaches to the floor. Shake up that head. 3 more like that. We find that halfway lift. Lengthen and expand. Soften and fold on the exhalation. Soften those toes. 2 more. Breath in. Engage that navel in and up towards the spine. Exhale, fold forward. Last full inhale. Sip in the breath. Open up the collarbones. Exhale, forward fold, crown of the head towards the floor. Now inhale, root the feet. We lift our heart. Lines of energy out through the fingertips. We gather all that magic and draw it to our heart center. Pause and breathe here. We set our dedication, intention, our prayer. Whatever's bubbling up for you this morning, just acknowledge that. We'll gently open up our eyes and begin to flow. So a full breath in, reach the arms up overhead, and just cactus your hands out to the side. Lift the heart, open up the head and throat, then full breath in, arms reach up, and we swan dive forward, Uttanasana. We find that halfway lift. Let's step the left leg back into that low lunge. Hands splay the front side of the foot. Reach through that left heel. Steady breathing here. Now we'll drop the left knee to the earth, untuck the toes, and take our hands on that right thigh. Melt into the hips. This causes tension on the knee. You can always add a little extra padding by folding over the mat, and we'll reach our hands up overhead. So melt a little deeper. Still breathing here. Reach those arms perpendicular to the floor. Another breath in here. Now we'll release the hands to the mat. Tuck those left toes under. Step the right leg back, holding high plank. Shoulders over wrist creases. Straighten through those legs. Hug the muscles to the bones. We'll lower into low plank. Pause here. A cobra or upward dog. Downward dog. Exhale, eyes towards the back of the mat. Shake out that head. Steady breathing. Look at your hands, and we'll just step that left leg forward. Hands outside that front leg. Reach to the right heel. Now we'll lower the right knee to the floor, untuck the toes, and take our hands on that left thigh. Soften through the toes, melt through the hips. Nice, now we'll extend the arms up. Maybe gaze up towards the ceiling. Maybe you can take your hands behind your head and find a deeper bend. Relax that jaw, another breath in. Hands released to the mat. Right toes tucked under. We step that left leg back, high plank to low plank. A cobra or upward dog. A downward dog, pause and breathe. Eyes towards the back of the mat, shake out that head. Full breath in, full breath out. We're gonna bend the knees, walk, step, or hop to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, fold forward, Uttanasana, and use that inhale to rise. Lines of energy out through the fingertips. Cactus the hands out to the side. Big breath in. And we swan dive forward, navel in and up towards the spine. We find that halfway lift. Step or jump those feet back. High plank to low plank. A cobra or upward dog. And downward dog, exhale. We'll take that right leg up towards the sky. Lightly step it forward, warrior one. And come all the way up. Now open into warrior two, pause and breathe. Maybe tracking those right toes a little forward towards the front of your mat so you can deepen into those hips. Square the hips and chest towards the side of your space. Again, lines of energy out through the fingertips. Hug the muscles to the bones. Let's go a little deeper in those hips. Now we'll turn both palms up towards the sky. Keep the shoulders where they are, and then we just turn them back to the floor. Again, inhale, rotate. And then we'll take the palms towards the floor. One more time. Inhale, rotate those arms around. Keep the right hand where it is, and just reverse your warrior. Gaze towards the outer edge of that back leg. Tracking that right knee forward. Keeping that knee coming towards that pinky toe. Now take a little deeper bend here. Hands to the floor. Right leg back. High plank to low. We take a cobra or up dog. Downward dog. Exhale, eyes towards the back of the mat. Inhale that left leg high. Find that length. Lightly step it forward. Warrior one. We rise. And then open up into warrior two. So again, maybe walking those left toes forward, drop into the hips, find the hips and the chest towards the side of your space, soft eye gaze over that middle finger on your left hand. Now go a little deeper into those hips. We'll just turn the left palm up this time and reverse our warrior. Gaze towards the outer edge of that back leg, but keep tracking that left knee forward. Take another full inhale. On an exhalation, hands to the floor. We take that left leg back. Beautiful. High plank to low. A cobra or upward dog. Downward dog, we pause and breathe. Breath is steady. Soften the knees slightly. Draw your chest closer to your thighs, then begin to open up the backs of your legs. Shake out that head. Can you draw those heels a little closer to the floor? Nice. Now see, keep your hands where they are, but externally rotating the shoulders. That draws the shoulder blades down your back body, frees up your head and neck space. Nice. We take another breath in. Complete that exhalation. Bend the knees, step, jump, or hop to the top of the mat. Halfway lift. Fold forward on the exhalation and rise. Use that breath, lifting the heart. We'll cactus our hands out to the side again. Full breath in and swan dive forward. Use that whole exhalation. Halfway lift, step or jump those feet back. High plank to low. A cobra or upward dog and downward dog, exhale. Right leg lifted high. Warrior one. And we rise. Open into warrior two. Drop into those hips. We reverse our warrior on the inhalation. Track that right knee forward. Come back into warrior two and straighten that right leg. Triangle. So bump the hips back, reach the right fingers forward, track those bottom ribs towards the front of your space, and we'll find Trikonasana, triangle. Left hand up towards the sky. Lift those kneecaps. Maybe spin your chest up towards the sky so that hand is alive. Really starfish the fingers, and we'll take that left hand over the ear. Feel that beautiful line of energy out through the fingertips. Steady breathing for 3, for 2, and on 1, we come back through warrior 2, our vinyasa, hands to the floor, right leg back, high to low, cobra or up dog, downward dog, exhale. We lift the left leg high, warrior 1, and rise. Come into warrior 2, pause and breathe. Now straighten that left leg, bump those hips back, reach the left fingers as far as you can, setting up for a Trikonasana, triangle. Nice. Then release the hand to the shin, your brick, and extend that right hand up towards the sky. So always an option to gaze towards your toes. Swallow a few times, soften through the eyes. Those right fingers are spread wide like a starfish. Now we'll take the right hand over that right ear. Maybe straightening through that elbow, draw the shoulder back into the socket. We take another full breath in, lifting through those kneecaps. Complete that exhalation. Use an inhale to rise back through warrior 2. And then we take a vinyasa, hands to the floor. Our left leg back, high to low. Cobra or upward dog. And downward dog, we pause and breathe. Eyes towards the back of the mat. Shake out that head. 3 to 5 breaths here. Really connecting with that breath. Eyes are soft, breath is steady. Let's draw one more full inhale. Exhale the air completely. Bend the knees, step, hop, or jump to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, fold forward, and sit into that chair pose. Hips are heavy, heart is lifted, arms are extended, pinkies towards the floor. Now spread the toes wide, weight into the heels, and we'll drop those hips 6 more inches. Energetically squeeze those knees together. You want to zip up that core. One more full breath here. Nice. Hands through heart center as we fold forward. We find that halfway lift. Step or jump those feet back. High to low plank. Cobra or upward dog. We'll meet in downward dog. Pause and breathe. Please extend that right leg high. Warrior one. We rise and open into warrior two and pause. So again, extend those right toes towards the front of your mat more. Drop into those hips. We're going to straighten that right leg. Find our way back into triangle. Left hand reaches up towards the sky. So we're going towards half moon. So we'll take that left hand on our hips. Gaze towards that right foot. You take a deep bend in that right knee. Reach that right hand about a foot and a half in front of you and elevate that left leg. Flex the toes. Once you find that balance, begin to extend that left hand up towards the sky, and you can start to bring your eyes up towards that upper hand. Breathing here for 3, for 2. On 1, lower that left hand to the floor. We're going to close off those hips. That left leg is still elevated. So keeping that leg about hip height. Now wade into the left fingertips. Let's just start by taking that right hand on our hip. So we square those hip points to the floor. Maybe a slight bend in that right knee. Option to extend that right hand up towards the sky. Find that scissor action. Maybe take your eyes up towards that upper hand. We're breathing here for 3, for 2. On 1, lower that right hand to the floor and walk those hands back towards that right foot for your version of standing split. Shake out that head. So again, letting go of any idea that that left leg has to be a certain height. Maybe take your right hand on your right ankle, walking that left hand towards the ankle as well. So play your edge. If you fall out of it, that shows that you're growing, breathing. Take one more breath in. Now both hands to the floor. We'll find our Shiva squat. We're going to bend that left knee behind that right knee. Slight bend in that right knee. Then we extend that left leg high. 4 more like that. We slowly bend that right knee, left knee behind, and extend. Last 3. We're breathing here, then lengthening. Last 2, Shiva squat, left knee behind the right. You're getting so strong. Left leg extends. And last time, left knee comes behind the right. We extend that left leg. Beautiful. And lower that left leg to the floor. Step the right leg back. High plank to low. A cobra or upward dog. Downward dog, we pause and breathe. Eyes towards the back of the mat. Steady breathing. We've got one more side. Extend that left leg up towards the air and step it forward into warrior one. Use that inhale to rise. Nice, we open it into warrior two. Drop into the hips. Now lengthen through that left leg, triangle. Left fingers towards the front of your space. We take that right hand up towards the sky. Spread those fingers wide. Now taking that right hand on your right hip, going into half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Gaze towards the floor. We take a bend in that left knee. Left hand comes about a foot in front of you, and you elevate that right leg the height of your hips. Flex that right foot. Maybe extend that right hand up towards the sky. So once you find that balance, you can shift your eyes towards the upper hand. We're still breathing. Lift that leg higher than you think you can. Spread those toes wide. Now we'll watch that right hand as it comes to the floor. Spin those right toes towards the earth, and we level off those hips. So that right leg is the height of your hips. Steady breathing. Right hand comes about a foot in front of you. And let's just take that left hand on our hip. It's a really challenging posture, the twisting half moon. So maybe just stay here. If you want to go a little further, you extend that left hand up towards the sky. Still breathing. Always an option to gaze up towards that upper hand. Take another breath in. Watch that left hand as it connects with the earth, and lift the right leg, your version of standing split. Walking those hands towards that left ankle. Maybe take the left hand around the left ankle. Right toes are reaching up towards the sky. The head is relaxed, back of the neck is lengthening. Maybe lift that right leg a little higher. And explore walking that right hand towards the ankle. Maybe finding that balance. Then we'll release both hands to the floor for our Shiva squat. So I'm bending that left knee, my right knee comes right behind the kneecap. Then we extend and lift the right toes up towards the sky. Four more like that, Shiva squat. Left knee bends, right knee comes behind it. Then we extend. Last three, bending both knees, and we lift. Last two, guys are getting so strong. Lift that right leg up towards the sky. Last Shiva squat. Left knee bends, that right knee comes behind it. We extend that right leg back up towards the sky. Now we'll lower the right leg to the mat. Vinyasa, left leg back. Hard work. High or low plank. Cobra or upward dog. Downward dog, exhale. And a well-deserved child's pose. We've done a lot before 7:30 this morning. So just drop into those hips. Extend those arms in front of you. Forehead to the floor. Move the forehead side to side. Let's take a deep bend in the elbows and walk those hands closer to the body so you can just melt your heart. And just noticing the energy body, all of the prana, that life force that we've been stirring up, opening up the channels in the body, letting go of holdings. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Another full inhale. Complete that exhalation. And we'll walk our hands to the right side of the mat. Take that left hand on top of the right and stretch through that left side body. Gently drawing that left shoulder away from the ear. Soften the jaw, the root of the tongue. And we'll walk our hands to the opposite side. Right hand on top of left. Hips are heavy. Breath is steady. Take another full in breath. Complete that exhalation. We'll walk our hands back towards the center of our mat. Come onto our hands and knees. And a few cat-cows, just rounding that back body. Let the head be loose. Inhale, reach your heart forward, eyes up towards the sky. Then draw that navel towards the spine. Drop the head. Root the tops of the feet into the earth. Inhale. Really enjoying that breath. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale it out. 1 more full breath in. Exhale completely. We come back to neutral, toes tucked under, downward dog. We'll walk our feet back towards the top of the mat. I'll face you. Let's find those peace fingers. Reach them around the big toes. Halfway lift, our heart reaches forward. Slight bend in the elbows, maybe a bend in the knees as you take the crown of the head towards the floor. Shake out that head. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Navel is engaged in and up towards the spine. Let's take more weight into the balls of the feet. You're drawing those hips over your knees, knees over your ankles. So we stay here or slide those hands underneath our feet. Maybe explore taking the hands behind the backs of your legs. We find that halfway lift. Elbows bend, crown of the head towards the floor. Shake it out. Breathing here, in and out through the nose. Another full inhale. Complete that exhalation. Release your hands. Heel toe those feet together, and we'll step back into downward dog. Shake out that head. And walk those toes together in a single line at the back of your mat. Right leg extends up towards the sky. We'll exhale our knee to the nose, shift those shoulders over the wrists. Engage that core, really round that back body. On an inhale, extend that right leg. Exhale, squeeze that knee to the nose on the exhale. 3 more. Inhale and exhale it out. Last 2. We squeeze the knee to the nose. Last one here. We find that length and find crescent lunge. Come on the ball of the back leg. Reach the arms up all the way. And we'll bring our prayer to our heart center. So you're facing the space in front of you. You're on the ball of that back leg. We'll find Virabhadrasana 3 with our hands at our heart center. So press off the back of that left leg. Lift that leg the height of your hips. Soles of our palms connect. Now see if you can square those hips off. It's a little challenging. By flexing the left toes, you want those toes to face towards the floor. Then maybe point the toes. 2 more breaths here. We take another full inhale. Step that left leg towards the back of the mat. Back through crescent lunge. In your vinyasa, hands to the floor. Right leg back, high to low. Cobra or upward dog. Downward dog, we pause and breathe. Walk the big toes towards the center of your mat and extend that left leg high. Squeeze the knee to the nose, all of the air out of the body. Really round that back body, then lengthen. Left leg extends. Exhale, squeeze the knee to the nose, then lengthen. 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. Last 2. Really warming up the body this morning. Last knee to the nose, step it forward, crescent lunge. Come all the way up, and we bring our prayer to our heart. So I want you to engage the back of the right leg, really root through that right heel. Let's drop a little deeper into our hips. That left knee is tracking over your left ankle. We're gonna push off the back leg into Virabhadrasana 3. So on that next inhale, that right leg lifts. Flex the right toes towards the earth. Now maybe point the toes and lift that leg another foot higher. We're breathing here, finding our balance, eyes eye level. Lift that right leg a little higher. 2 more breaths. Really spreading out those left toes. 1 last inhale. Then we step that right leg back. Release our hands. Nice. And cycle through a vinyasa. Left leg towards the back of the mat, high to low. Cobra or upward dog. Beautiful downward dog. We pause and breathe. Shake out that head. Connecting with that breath. Let's take 1 more full inhale. Complete that exhalation. We're gonna bend the knees, step, hop, or jump to the top of the mat. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward, and we drop into that chair. I'm gonna face you guys. Drop into that chair, turn the pinkies towards that center line. We're going to eagle, yes. Right elbow underneath left. Hands are twisted like ropes. Weight into that left foot. Use that core to lift the right thigh up and over, finding that bind and spinning everything into that center line. So let's lift those elbows a little higher. You feel it in your shoulder blades. Now breathe into the shoulder blades. Squeeze your thighs together, drop those hips a little deeper. Now press your forearms towards the front of your space. Where are your eyes? Still breathing here. Nice, we can lift those hands back up. Next inhalation, let's release. Arms reach up. And we'll bring our prayer to our heart center, Samastitihi. Other side, we'll start from chair. So drop those hips, extend those arms up towards the sky, and we'll take that left elbow underneath the right. So twisting those arms like ropes, lift those elbows. Again, you feel it in your shoulder blades. I feel it in my shoulder blades. So breathe into that area, weight into that right foot. We lift that left thigh, up and over, maybe find that bind around the calf, spin everything into the center line, squeeze those thighs together. So keeping those hips level. Can you go a little deeper? Those toes on the right foot are spreading wide, rooting you to the earth. We lift those elbows a little higher, then press your forearms towards the front of your space. We're breathing here for 3, for 2, we release everything on 1. Arms reach up overhead. We bring our prayer to our heart center, Samastitihi. Pause and breathe. Maybe swallow. Slowing down that breath in and out through the nose. You can flutter your eyelids open. Finding our chair again. Fingers to the floor, arms reach up. One more time. We find our eagle. Right elbow under left. Use that right, lift that right thigh up and over. Spin everything into the center line and we sit tall. So from the side angle, a lot of you are leaning forward. We want to lift up, squeeze those thighs together. So we stay here or draw those elbows towards our knees. Really puff up that back body. Eyes are eye level. Stay here or we unwrap that right leg. So toes towards the floor. Lift that right leg. Heighten it. The height of your hips. Upward dog in the chest. 2 more breaths here. Finding our balance. 1 more inhale. Complete that exhalation. Then with control, we take that wrap, right leg up and over. A full breath in, a full breath out. And let's release everything. Arms reach up. We bring our prayer to our heart center. Last side. We'll start from chair. Fingers brush the floor. We reach our arms up overhead. Nice. Left elbow under right. Weight into that right foot. I'll show you the side angle. Left thigh up and over. So again, our tendency is to lean forward. I want you to lift the chest. Find that imaginary wall behind you. Now squeeze your thighs together and go a little deeper. Breathe into the shoulder blades. Now always an option to stay right here. Great to work on your balance, or we go a little further. Draw those elbows towards your knees. Puff up that back body. Pause here or go a little further. We unwrap that left leg. Lift at the height of your hips. Spin the toes towards the floor. Eyes eye level, everyone. Breathing here, maybe point through those left toes. Let's lift the chest, upward dog. Lift that left leg a couple more inches. Then we'll slowly take that wrap, left thigh over right. Pause here, and we release everything. Arms reach up. We bring our prayer to our heart center, Samasti Tahi. Pause and breathe. Slow everything down. Softening the jaw, the root of the tongue. Slowing down the breath. Calming the body by lengthening our inhalation and exhalation. So let's flutter our eyelids open. We'll take one more balancing pose this morning. We'll find our traditional tree. So right foot in the inner left thigh. Find that connection. Press the thigh and foot against one another. So right here, you connect that core. You zip up the bandhas, the locks in the body. We bring our prayer to our heart center. Open up the collarbones. Eyes eye level, and we'll reach our prayer up towards the sky. We separate our hands and lift our eyes up towards the ceiling. Breathing here for 3, for 2, and on 1. Lower your prayer to your heart center. We'll take that right foot to the floor. Pause between sides, equanimity. Mountain pose here. Just take a quick body scan before we take the other side. Let go of any holdings in the body. Steady breathing. We'll take our other side when you're ready. So the left foot comes in the inner right thigh, finding our tree here. Again, press the foot and thigh against one another. Lengthening through the spine, hands at your heart center. If you want to modify, take a different posture like Bill is in the back, that's great. Listening to your body. So here we'll take the prayer up towards the sky. And keeping the elbows bent, just drawing the hands behind the head. So we'll lift our chin, lift our eye gaze, open up the throat for 3, for 2. On 1, we'll take that prayer up towards the sky, lower it to our heart, left leg to the floor, and cycle through a vinyasa. A full breath in, swan dive forward. We find that halfway lift, step or jump those feet back. High plank to low, cobra or upward dog, downward dog, exhale. Let's drop our knees to the floor, setting up for Ustrasana. So I'm going to add a little padding to my knees. My knees are hips distance apart. We'll take 2 cycles of Ustrasana. So the first one, let's tuck our toes under, opening up the arches of the feet, hand support on your lower back. So let's lift through those side bodies, that side waist, hug those elbows towards the back. We press our hips forward, eyes up towards the sky, soften the throat, breath is steady. Keep pressing your hips forward. You stay supported here. Always an option to explore your heels by reaching your hands towards them, or one day, crown of the head towards the floor, right between the feet. Something to work on. Take another breath here. Complete that exhalation. If you reach for your heels, take your hands on your hips. Come all the way up. Keep your heels lifted. We'll drop our bottom towards our heels and spin our fingers towards our knees. So really opening up those wrists. If this is too intense with the hands in front of you, just take your hands closer to the body. A deeper opening, the hands come a little further away from you. Notice if your shoulders are engaged, take them out. Allow those wrists slowly. So in any posture, less is more. You don't want to go to that full extent. Find that resistance. You back up a little bit. We want the body to slowly open. Nice. Now we'll take the tops of our hands to the mat. You may have a lot of sensations in the feet. Release the hands. Let's tap the tops of the feet away. And we'll find our last Ustrasana. So rooting through the shins, the tops of the feet open, all 10 fingernails are connected to the floor. We walk our hands up our hips. Hand support, we hug those elbows in. Find that length through the side body. Draw those floating ribs back into the body. Open up the throat, eyes are bright. You press your hips forward, stay supported, and just play that edge. Again, reaching for heels, maybe towards the floor. Find that resistance, back up, soften and breathe. 3 more breaths here. Last 2. And on 1, hands on your hips, slowly come all the way up. Hands to the floor. We'll cross our ankles and roll onto our back body. So just extend those legs. Giving yourself a beautiful hug. If you can reach for opposite elbows, please do. You can always take the wrists, but squeeze those knees in. Draw your chin towards your chest so you lengthen through the back of the neck. Now soften through your eyes. If your eyes are closed, finding that internal vision. And we'll release our elbows, cactus our hands out to the sides. Let's drop our knees to the right. Maybe spin your gaze over that left shoulder. Feeling that release in the lower back. Using that core, we'll draw those knees back to center and take them in the opposite direction. Gaze over that right shoulder. And knees back to center. Interlacing those hands behind the head. We've got 60 seconds on the clock, finding our bicycle. So we're going to start off slowly. Reaching opposite elbow to be outside of the knee. Really slowing it down, reaching through the heels. Going up that really steep hill. We're going to add a little more speed here. So last 20 seconds. We're at the top of the hill and we're gaining some speed. Going a little faster here. Don't lose the integrity of the posture. Really reach the elbows as far as you can. Relax your jaw. Last 10 seconds. We're still breathing. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug those knees in. Relax that jaw. Extend those legs up towards the sky. Again, we'll interlace the hands behind our head. Drop that right leg. The heel hovers a couple inches above the floor. Now we'll reach the right elbow outside that knee again. Back to center. We'll reach, neutral. Extend, center. 5, 4. Go a little further with that elbow. 3, 2, and on 1, that right leg lifts, that left leg hovers. Maybe flex that left leg and draw that left elbow outside the knee. We're breathing here. Right foot is reaching up towards the ceiling. Last 5, 4, last 3, 2, and 1. Nice, both knees hug in. We take our hands on our kneecaps and make little circles, warming up that lower back body. And then we'll change direction. And we'll take our right ankle on our left thigh. Both feet flex. Interlace the hands underneath that left knee and squeeze that left knee closer to your chest. Eyes are bright, looking up towards the ceiling. Steady breath. Hug that left knee a little closer. The shoulders are drawing away from the ears, again, freeing up that head and neck space. We take one more breath in, let it go, and just take that right thigh on top of the left. So if you can find the wrap, you can. We'll draw our hips towards the right side of our mat and take both knees across the mat. So cactus your hands. Again, this is a very intense stretch. If it's not working for you this morning, please don't wrap that right thigh over the left. You can just keep the knees side by side. Maybe gaze over that right shoulder. Melt the body, let go of any tension. And then we'll draw those knees back to center. Hug both knees back into the chest. And from here, again, just soften those shoulders away from the ears. And we'll take that left ankle on the right thigh, interlace the fingers below the kneecap, and draw that right knee into the chest. So we flex both of our feet. Should feel this stretch on the outer left hip. And breath by breath, we have a little more space to hug that right knee in closer. So flexing both feet, hug that right knee a couple more inches towards that chest. My left elbow is encouraging that left knee to open. Breath is steady. Now we'll release that right from underneath the right knee and take that left knee on top of the right. I'm going to bring my hips closer to the outer edge of the left side of my mat and drop the knees. Cactus your hands. Gaze maybe over that opposite shoulder. Find that breath. 2 more breaths here. Another full inhale. Complete that exhale. Release the legs and hug the knee into our chest one more time. We're going to take those legs up towards the ceiling. Lift the bottom and draw the toes overhead. Walk the hands on your back body, finding our plow position. So melting into that middle back. Our eyes are open, our breath is steady. So you always have the option to lift the legs up for your shoulder stand. But if you're in plow, toes towards the floor, you want to flex those feet, reach the heels towards the back of your space. Notice where you feel it in the body. Supporting that lower back. 2 more breaths here. We'll take another full inhale. Then slowly bend both knees, squeezing those knees towards your ears. Still supporting that lower body. I'm opening up the tops of my feet as they connect with the floor, and very slowly we'll release our lower back and unwind the spine. Let gravity do the work. Slow it down. When those hips hit the floor, support underneath with your hands, and slowly use that core to lower the heels all the way to the floor. Take your time. Turn your palms up towards the sky. And we'll take one more finishing posture this morning. So we're going to bend both knees. Find our happy baby. Reach for the inner arches of our feet. We'll rock the spine side to side. Then we find the stillness and draw those knees a little closer to the floor. Flex the feet, head and shoulders on the floor. Now straddling, open up those legs, soften those inner groins. The knees can be as bent as they need to be. Then from the inner arches of my feet, I'm gonna just reach around for my ankles and draw the soles of the feet together. Matching the heels, the big toe, all the toes line up, and we draw those heels into our inner groins. Breathe here, draw the shoulders away from the body. Swallow. And we'll slowly extend the legs towards the earth. Turn the palms up towards the sky. Move the head side to side. We'll rotate our wrists one more time. Rotate your ankles. Then squeeze everything, your face, your hands, your feet. Squeeze 5, squeeze 4, 3, 2, soften and let it go on 1. Sip in that next full incoming breath and let it go. Adding some movement to the toes, then our fingers, and take a beautiful stretch, the arms up overhead. And we'll hug our knees into our chest and find the left side of our mat to just pause here. You can support your head with your hands. Curling up into that bright light. And we find our way to a comfortable seated position. Eyes soft or closed. Feeling the effects of our practice this morning. Quote this morning from Miriam Hasna. A healer does not heal you. A healer is someone who holds space for you while you awaken your inner healer so that you may heal yourself. So just letting that sink in. And inviting your hands to your heart center. And just acknowledging your yoga practice, how you are healing yourself. By giving yourself this gift to be more present, to connect with your breath, to open up the body and the mind, and to connect with community. So just acknowledging all of that this morning. Let's close our practice this morning with one beautiful Om. So sipping in that breath. The light within me honors and recognizes the light within all of you. Thank you for sharing your practice this morning. And our prayers go out to all the people in Napa with those current fires. Namaste. Thank you for the music this morning. Thank you for joining us, everyone, this morning. Wishing you a beautiful, safe day. Spread the love. Reach out to someone you haven't connected with. Just check in on them. Thank you all. Love the LA support. Thank you, Preston, Stacy, Kristen, David.
Thank you, Amy.
Thanks,
Bill.
Amy.
Ringo wanted to say a quick hello. There he is. That's running sound of love. He does the practice right in front of the computers, but he's just a bunch of love.
Yeah. Hi, Ringo.
Hi, Ringo. You guys have a great weekend. Love you guys.
Great weekend. It's only Tuesday, David.
Oh, I thought it was Thursday.